Jasmine's higher self now, please.
Yes.
I'm really curious about how the best way to have a relationship between men and women is right now. Are there steps or is there any secret to having a good relationship between men and women?
There is no secret. Women women have historically, especially in this country, America, United States, been subjugated by men. Some would say it's because men inherently know that women are the more powerful being, the being that's closer to God.
What can people do about this? How can we bring the two sexes together in a better fashion?
Women need to switch their mindset, take men off of the pedestal, and not in a fighting way. Women are not here to fight for their rights. Women are here to become their rights, to step into their power. There doesn't need to be a great argument around it. They have to take what's theirs and wield their power, which they have not been trained to do.
How do they train themselves to do this?
These are mindset shifts. So one would say, one would say, instead of thinking, I must go out and find a man or I have no value, one would think, I am the value, I am worthy, and I will, a man will come to me, and many men will come to me, and I will choose and I will decide which one is worthy of me.
Will
There
this go ahead?
should be no chasing. Women should not be chasing men.
Will this be enough to just state this? I mean, does this actually work? Can a woman actually do this?
It's a belief, a mindset switch, and a new belief. So it may be hard though, because women have been indoctrinated into this system and men have been indoctrinated into this system
Why? Why has this happened to everyone? Why have we been so programmed to believe these things?
because it works. It works for men to
Oh,
have believing that they are not the prize.
who created this system to indoctrinate everyone to believe these things that women should be chasing men?
Well, originally it was created through religious texts and that women should be subservient and submissive. And that is misunderstood. The feminine energy is a surrendered energy, but not in the way that it was interpreted.
Well, why was this in religious texts? Like, who put it in there?
Men,
I see. Well, so many women or even men that remember past lives have so much trauma from the abuse that has happened to women for thousands of years. How can a woman deal with this trauma?
current trauma or past trauma?
Past trauma, well, current trauma too. And because of the trauma, it's hard for them, some of them, to have a good relationship with a man because a part of them can remember being so traumatized and abused.
This is tough. We would say that you have to clear those old beliefs and trauma. Not that you have to go back and heal every past life or heal every current trauma. You don't necessarily have to go to the root of it. The root of it is the belief that the trauma will continue in a new relationship. So, changing the belief to, I've always been treated well. Men have always been lovely to me. They always respect me. I'm safe with men. Adopting those new beliefs, even though they may not feel true at the time, they will become true and your reality will begin to reflect that. The men that
Just
come will become safe and kind and um, compatible with you.
how often do you have to state these things? I mean, to make these true, to sink into your subconscious.
For some, it may be many times. It depends on how much trauma they have and or how deep set those beliefs are. And we would argue that those beliefs are very common for most women. And so, working with someone, working with a healer or hypnotherapist, practicing your new beliefs, working on your self concept, it takes time, but also you do see results quickly.
What about men? I mean, moving forward in this day and age, what can a man do to work on his own belief system? I mean, that would help him in his relationships with women.
The same thing, adopt new beliefs about women and relationships. I've always honored women. I love women with my whole heart. The mother of my children is a wonderful human and she's equal to me.
Oh.
I value her opinion.
Are twin flames real? Is that a real concept?
They're real if you believe they're real.
Oh, okay. I see.
There are many twin flames, there are many soulmates. This is not just one person for one person, one soul for one soul.
Are humans supposed to be polyamorous? Are they really supposed to be monogamous?
There is no supposed to be. Your choice
Uh,
is your humans operate on different very many different belief systems. And it is okay to be polyamorous if the way in which you're being polyamorous isn't only to be avoidant of conflict and love. Many people have adopted the polyamorous way of living because they would like to have many sexual partners, and that is okay. But there's many there are many ways that still leads to the same type of dynamic of a monogamous relationship. Does
okay.
that make sense?
It does. Um, I've noticed that there's a big disconnect between a lot of my clients that have done a lot of work on themselves, that are women, and they can't seem to find a partner in a man because they feel as if they need someone that has done the same amount of work, but it becomes really difficult for them. How can a woman like this find a partner?
By changing her beliefs about how hard it is to find a partner that is equally yoked, by saying it will be easy for me. It's always been easy for me to find a partner who matches me and my emotional intelligence or whatever it is that is the most important qualities for them. There is no scarcity of people who are good matches. There's only a scarcity of available mindsets. So if you believe that there are no good men for you or no one who is of equal or um, higher or vibrations that match, then you will have a very tough time. The real world, the manifested world will continue to show you partners that are not matched for you.
There's a lot of my clients who are just stuck in relationships and they find their husband to be abusive, but they can't seem to leave the relationship because they don't have enough money or support. What can people like that do?
Start to visualize their freedom, their mental freedom, their physical freedom. Start to create a mindset of expansion and freedom. Conversely, they could also work on this their self-concept and say, I'm well respected, I'm treated fairly and kindly by any person that comes into my reality. And either that abuser will fall away or he will change.
Oh, I love that. What about women or men that find themselves in a relationship where the other person is very can like vents a lot and is very negative and it just is difficult to be around them and they don't know how to handle it. It affects everyone in the household and they don't know how to, what should they do? Create boundaries or how can they handle it? Because it's like the negative person just spews all this negativity in their space and in their minds.
And this is challenging because negative energy is so heavy in a household. And especially when there are more than one, when there are several people in the household. But we would say that whoever is the strongest mindset in that household, whether it be the mother or the father.
What do you mean by strongest mindset?
Well, if there are children in the household and the father is the one who is venting all of the time, we would say that the mother, the feminine, whoever is not wanting to hear the venting, should that person would be the strongest mindset. And that person should create an energetic boundary that says only conversations that we want to have, only conversations that come to a fruitful ending or there is some conclusion. So, not endless venting, not endless complaining, um, live here in this house. And so, it is up to the other strongest mindset to set the tone energetically for the household, for the children, and um, to hopefully lessen the venting. And this is not to say that people are not allowed to vent or complain. I mean, life is full of problems for some people, but that you could make a boundary without having to have an argument.
Oh, so like like an energetic boundary. Okay. Because I know it affects a lot of people. I know this is a problem a lot of people face. Okay.
Yes, you could even say um, the a new belief would be my home is always peaceful. We're always having great conversations. Everything feels good in my home. Always. It always has felt good. And so suddenly that venting energy turns into uplifting energy.
Mm, thank you. Do men go through menopause too?
No,
Don't they have some sort of midlife crisis type thing that happens to them?
yes, but it is not hormone.
Oh, it's not hormonal?
You know,
Why did,
crisis of authenticity.
oh, it's authenticity?
Yes, they suffer generous, many of them suffer from being inauthentic for most of their lives, and then they get to a certain age and realize that they are on the wrong path. They have not entered their personal path of power, and then they have a crisis that requires them to become who they are.
Oh, thank you so very much. Huh.